Okay, we're going to finish our star projects. You're going to have your stars back at your seat that you will work on today. You will also have your paper that says I'm a star because on it, and that should be located in your table folders. You're going to start with this star sheet here, and we're going to be outlining and decorating with patterns on the inside of it. So using a black Sharpie or one of the metallic materials at your table, you're going to hold this paper steady and we're just going to outline the outside edge of this star. Outside. Now I'm going to do the inside lines. So I'm just going to carefully follow along where the lines are in here that I painted, each section here that's separated by colors, and we're going to trace that off with a Sharpie. Now if you did a really good job staying in the lines and you really don't want to outline it, you just want to keep it as is, you can. But for the case of most of us, we might need to kind of clear these edges a little bit. So I'm going to go in right here and I can see where those two meet and just trace those areas. And then I'm going to do the same thing here, just trace those areas where those two colors are meeting. Okay, so I have that. And some of you guys don't have so much paint in the middle. You might even be able to draw that line more towards the middle. All our stars are going to look slightly different, but the key thing is for it to look 3D, and that's what I have going on here. So now I'm going to go in and figure out a pattern that I want to do in my darker colors. So I can use, again, my black Sharpie, or I can go in and try some of these metallic materials, okay? So you're going to get a different look, obviously, from, you know, a colored pencil and when you're using that in comparison to a crayon. So whatever I decide to do in either my dark or light areas, so as you can see, I accidentally started with my light areas, but that's okay. Whatever I decide to do for my pattern, I'm just going to repeat that throughout. So I have my light areas done now. I'm going to go in and figure out what I want to do in my dark areas. The same pattern that goes around. So maybe for this, I'll do something like maybe some polka dots. Okay, so I've got my patterns done. I have a pattern that I created in my black areas and one pattern that I created in my light areas. I'm now going to need to use some scissors to cut this out. So I'm going to go along the edges, and your scissors should be located in your supply stations at your tables. And I'm just going to carefully cut along the outside edge of the star. So as you know, when you cut something, you have to twist the paper with your other hand as you're cutting with your cutting hand. Alright, so my star is now done. I need to get some Elmer's liquid glue, and I'm going to glue that on. So remember, we're going to just tap the bottle to get the glue to fall, and we want to steer clear of the edges. So what I do is I take glue and I just glue out an outline in the middle, and then I go on each leg of the star down the middle, but I don't keep going towards the very end, because if I go all this way down, when I press the star on my paper, that glue is going to move outwards. So I don't want to go too far down near the corner of that star. I'm now going to take this carefully, flip it over, and you'll notice, because I didn't do too much glue, when I press this on my paper, I won't see any glue. So I'm going to find the middle area of my paper and gently press that. Okay, you might kind of have parts of your star popping up, and that's okay. We'll just let it do that for now, and we'll flatten it out later. What we're going to do now is you're going to have these little stars located at your table, and with chalk pastel, we're going to decorate the rest of this. So I'm going to go in, and I'm first going to outline my original star. So I'm just going to go in carefully without smudging, and I'm just kind of making sure that my line's equally as close to the star throughout, and I'm just going to outline it, and we're going to end up kind of smearing this to make it look like it's got a glow coming on. So now that I've outlined it carefully, I'm going to just take my finger and push away from that star on each line. So what kind of happens is it looks like it has a little glow to it, that star, which is kind of neat. All right. So now I'm gonna go in with some little stars, and I'm gonna just kind of trace any color I want of that little star. So I'm gonna go around the edges. And these are just little cutouts you'll have at your table. And I want my eye to move around too, guys, so don't place all your stars on one side that are in the background. Maybe now that I have one over there, I want to do one in the upper right-hand corner. Okay, so after I've done that, I now can go in with a clean finger and kind of work outwards with that and smear that a little bit. If it looks too smeared, it's okay to go back in and re-outline that outline. Okay, and now I'm gonna go in and do a nice little border that has a glow on it. So I'm gonna find a color that I wanna use, and I'm gonna go around the border, just outline it. And we're gonna then smear towards the star instead of away from it for these ones, to kind of drag our eye towards the center.